everyone, and welcome back to what I'm teaching this week, the first installment of the 2021-2022 school year. So if you're new around here, hey, my name is Becca. I teach elementary music, and every week I pop on here and give you a whole video about everything I'm teaching for a month at a time in any particular grade level. This is great because you can kind of see the progression of lessons and how I actually use them in my class versus like how I would use them if things were magical and we had all the time in the world and the kids were perfect. So this is much more practical. It's much more, this is what's actually happening. This is what's going on. And hopefully it gives you some, you know, help and inspiration and all of that good stuff. So today we're going to start with 4th and 5th grade because I feel like I get a lot more 4th and 5th grade questions. So I wanted to get these out first, and then we will move on next week and do a different one. The reason I do a month at a time is because I see my students for a week at a time. So I switch lessons every month. So I'm gonna go through and say, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever. You can just translate that to week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4 of the marking period and go from there. So I'm gonna do 4th and 5th grade in this video because they're pretty similar this month. That happens sometimes, especially when things are really overwhelming, like the beginning of the school year or right around winter break or during testing season, stuff like that. I'll group certain grade levels together, especially 4th and 5th grade, to just make sure that, you know, I'm not super overwhelmed. So they have some things that are the same and some things that are a little bit different because they are working on different concepts. Although honestly, my main goal out of these first few lessons are learn the rules, make sure you like music, and kind of see where we're at. I have students I now have only been teaching online for a year and a half. Some that I just haven't seen in a year and a half because they never showed up to class. I have kids I've only ever met online. Like, we are kind of all over the place in terms of what we know. And so I'm really trying to kind of figure out what we know and just, you know, kind of ease them back into it with this first set of lessons. That being said, if you happen to be teaching online right now, I do have all of these from last year where I went through literally every week of the entire school year, virtual. So you can go check those out. These videos are super casual, so they're gonna be super chit chatty. We're just gonna kind of go through and very, very non-edited, and yeah. So let's get started. On Monday, my 4th graders come in, and the first thing we're doing is our stick figure movement activity. So this is one I always like to start with because it's so easy. It's just pictures of different stick figures. I have some down below there. Like, I'll link my set down below. They're like dirty cheap on Teachers Pay Teachers. Seriously, every time, I've been selling a lot of them right now, I think because I talk about them so much at the beginning of the school year, and every time I'm like, oh, I need to like add something to it, so I'm gonna raise the price because it's so cheap. But regardless, you can go grab those down below, and this is what we do just to kind of make sure that we are moving. So there's different figures, and we just, you know, change them, and so I'll do them in a pattern. So I usually do 4 beats or 8 beats, and then I'll get faster and I'll get slower, and then I add a backing track from Little Kids Rock. So I will leave a link to that down below. So it just adds, you know, like a nice little beat underneath it, and the kids really like that, and it just kind of breaks the ice a little bit. I love this because it is super easy. The kids don't like need to know a lot of musical things, and we're working on phrasing, and it's just, you know, it's like non-stressful, because sometimes things like that can be stressful, and this one's not stressful. Anyway, all of that being said, after that, we dive down deep into our rules. So typically, the first time they do it really well. And so I'm like, awesome, that's gonna earn us a point. And so then I can tell them what our point system is. So we are continuing with our teacher versus student points. So if they're doing a great job, they get a point. I shoot for like 2 to 3 points for them a day. And then if they're not doing what they're supposed to, I tell them, if I'm working harder than you are, then I get a point, and that counts against them. At the end of the week, whatever points they have, so if they have 5 points, then at the end of the week, all of their points translates into minutes that we will play a game. So like if they have 5 points, then we do 5 minutes of game. Honestly, I don't track it that well. It's more like in theory, but you know, it's okay. And so that then we can say, oh, and in order to get these points, here are the 4 things we do in music class. And so we always do, I have rhythm rules. Oh, and they're freebies. I will leave those linked down below. And so I clap each of the different rhythms. With the little kids, we just echo back and forth. So they're follow directions, be respectful, be responsible, and be a participant. With that, with the older kids, I like to clap one and see if they can guess which one I'm clapping. That's a lot of fun. And it also, you know, again, gives me that little assessment, like, do you remember anything at all? Please please. And so we will do it that way. It just makes it a little more fun, a little more interactive. I have the kids echo things a lot. We use mirror words, which is a whole brain teaching thing. So you say mirrors up and they say mirrors up, and then they have to echo everything after you, and we use actions and just really anything I can do to make it so that I don't talk the whole time. So I'll ask them, what do you think means to be respectful? What do you think it means to be responsible? So that I'm not talking the whole time, because that's no fun. No fun at all. After we get through that, ideally I wanted to do our stand-up sit-down game, which I will leave linked down below. But basically it's like stand up if you like this, and sit down if you prefer this. It's like a this or that, but stand up, sit down, so that it gets a lot of the wiggles out. But we're not doing that because my projectors were broken. Yay. So actually it's not broken. I got a new computer, hallelujah, because I didn't have any school computer. I was using my personal computer for like 6 months. I got a new computer and it uses a different cord. So the cord, I'm told, has been ordered, but it's been like 2 weeks. So we have no projector, which is just really great. So we're not actually doing that. We just skip over that and go straight to the last thing, which is the game Jump In, Jump Out. I always start with this game. Again, this is like pretty much what I do every year at the beginning of the year, but it's so much fun. Super simple. It goes jump in, jump out, and turn yourself around. I said jump in, jump out, and introduce yourself. And then one person, I have them come to the front because I don't want to deal with the circle yet, but tomorrow we'll do in the circle, goes to the middle of the circle or to the front of the room, and they introduce themselves. So they say something, they tell us their name, something they like. We usually do our favorite food just to make it a little easier, and then something they can do that we can all do and is very simple. So if it's my turn, I might say my name's Miss Davis, and then I'll go yeah. My name's Miss Davis, yeah. And I like ice cream, yeah. And I can snap, yeah. And we all go all right, all right, all right. And then back to jump in, jump out, and then lots of people get a turn. I don't make them have a turn on the first day, but it is a lot of fun. And you can also really gauge a class to see some classes everybody wants to go, in other classes nobody wants to go, and so you can kind of get a feel for just like what they're gonna be like, which is really nice. Usually I can get enough to go that we can fill out the rest of the time. And after that, I now have the great privilege of cutting my class 10 minutes short to take all of my classes to the restroom, which is just great. So instead of 45 minutes, I now only have 35 minutes, which goes super quickly. And then our last 10 minutes is a restroom break, which I find rather irritating, but you know what? It's whatever. It's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. So we go and do that. And with 4th grade, I also have lunch duty. So I take them to the bathroom, take them to lunch, and then they're done. And then I will see them next day. Anyway, on Tuesday, we start with the game Jump In, Jump Out, just to kind of get the wiggles out, and usually you'll have more kids participate the second day. And this day we do make a circle and go to the middle as opposed to having the kids go to the front. We review all of the rhythm, we review our rules, and then after that, I give them usually some rhythm sticks. And we echo a few different patterns. I just have them echo rhythms after me. And oh, before I give them the rhythm sticks, I see if anybody remembers any rhythms. I basically just like draw a quarter note and I'm like, does anyone remember what this is? And usually we get ta and tt. It seems like we got ta, tt, rest, and some classes remember half note, some don't. So I think we're gonna like review half note and then move on and work on 16th notes. Alas. So then we do some rhythm cards. I toss out the rhythm sticks, we do some rhythm cards, and then I have them echo rhythms, and I sneakily teach them the rhythms to the song that we're gonna do. And so I have them just echo the rhythms after me, and then I'm like, great, I just taught you all the rhythms to the song that we're gonna do. See if you can play it while I sing. And so I model it so they can see. And I sing the song Star Festival. So this song is a Japanese song that is really, really fun. I have a whole lesson pack for it, so I'll link that down below. And it goes, in the sky the stars twinkle bright, bamboo rustling in the night, glittering sparks of silver and gold, high above us we behold. I picked this one because the melody is a little more complex, but the rhythms are only quarter, eighth notes, and rest, and I wasn't sure how much they would remember. So I figured that was a nice place to start, and then we can build from there. So the rhythms are pretty easy. We sing, and then I'll have them echo the words after me, and then usually they can sing it by the end of that little section. And then after that, if we have time, that's a big if, because I'm looking at this and I'm like, we didn't do that the last 2 weeks. We listened to the song Mars from The Planets, Gustav Holst, and we're playing the ostinato, get in a spaceship, go to Mars. Get in a spaceship, go to Mars. And we play that along with the song a couple of times, and then I'll go around and pick up their sticks as they're playing, so that when they're done, they can play on their legs or whatever, or they can just listen, and then I'll pause the music, be like, hey, what do you think the song sounds like? Play it a little bit more, and then have them just give me their answers of what do you think this sounds like. And that ties in because we have like the stars, and then we've got like the planets, and so we got like a space theme going, which I might keep going till the next time, because I feel like I still have a lot of stuff I wanted to do that we didn't get done, so we shall see about that. And then we're done for Tuesday. On Wednesday, we start with our one of my favorite movement activities. You can take literally any song in the world and do this. So all you do is have the kids come up with a couple of different actions and assign each one to a section. So we are using the Imperial March from Star Wars, and so we only need 3 because it only has A, B, and C sections. So I have them, you know, they'll say, oh, snap, great. On section A, we're gonna snap, and then on section B, we're gonna do this, and on section C, we're gonna do whatever. So I have them pick those really quickly. This is a super simple movement activity because they came up with the rhythms, or they came up with the patterns, because they came up with what we're doing, and it's really easy and really fun. So we listen to that, and then after that, we review the Mars, get in a spaceship, go to Mars, get in a spaceship, go to Mars, and play that a little bit. And then pass out some instruments again, play it with the song, and then we go over Star Festival. And this time we're doing different ostinati. So in my lesson pack for Star Festival, there are, I think, 3 different ostinati that go along with it, and it makes an orf arrangement when you do them all at the same time. Right now we're just practicing each one. So there's one's a triangle, and it's just ta, ta. So if we're using rhythm sticks or drum, then we're like ta, ta, and then I'll sing it and see if they can sing it with me, and I'll tell them our goal is to see if you can sing and play at the same time. If you don't get there, that's fine, but try your best. And then the second one I think is ta, ti ti ta, ta, ti ti ta, and I believe that one's on the wood blocks. And then the last one is on the xylophone, and so we go ta, 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 and we go like that. So we do each one a couple of times, so they can just kind of get them in their head, get them, you know, all kind of figured out. And then I wanted to do one more thing, but I don't think we've ever made it past that, so usually we just stop there. Oh, and when we listen to Mars, by the way, we're also talking about it as well on there. Anyway, on Thursday, we start with a Japanese rock, paper, scissors game, which is so much fun. So now I'm going to tell you the traditional way to do it, and then actually what we are doing, and I'm going to look it up so and I have it pulled up so I don't tell you the wrong thing. So this one goes, se, 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 no, yoi, 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 ochalaka, 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 hoi. That's the song. And so along with this, you're supposed to be in a circle facing a partner, and on se 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 you have your hands out and you just be se se se. On no yo yo yoi, cross your arms and switch places with your partner. On ochalaka, you are doing a little ochalaka, 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 and then on hoi you jump, turn around, and then have your rock, paper, or scissors when you're done. So that's the traditional way to do it. And then along with that, you can have the kids show kata-yo, I won, or maketa-yo, I lost, or akedo, aiko de, I hope I got that right, and arms out for we tied. So hopefully I got all the Japanese right. I don't, so I apologize if it was a mess, but I do believe that even if you don't know a language, like, try your best, you know, look up the pronunciation and everything, but share it with your kiddos, because like they need exposure to different languages. Anyway, that being said, how we're doing it, because I didn't want to do, you know, the clapping with COVID, instead what we're doing is we're patting on our legs. So we go pat, 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 then we cross our arms and go pat, pat, pat. So on our legs again, and then pat, cross, jump, spin, and then rock, paper, or scissors. So what I'm doing is I'm actually just starting by having them follow me. So I'll just do and I'll jump on the end. And so we do that a couple of times, and then I'll add in the song, and then I'll say, oh, hey, this is a rock, paper, scissors game. At the end, can you show me rock, paper, or scissors? And this first time I'm just having them play against me. And so after we get it figured out, then I'll say, great. Now, if you won, put your hands up. If you picked the same thing I picked, put your hands out. And if you lost, then you can give a bow, and then you can sit down. And so this is an easy way to like kind of get them all seated in a like really easy musical fashion. And also they just think it's so much fun. And so we'll play a couple rounds until I've beaten everybody and they all sit down, and then we're going over Star Festival as well. So both of these songs are from Japan, so that's our connection. I'm like, great, we know another song from Japan. And then I start singing, they're like, oh yeah, we know that song. I'm like, great. And so then I have the kids come up with a couple of different outer space words. So I'll just ask them, what are some different outer space words? And I'm like, great. And then I'll have them kind of like echo things back to me. So I'll be like, star, star, planet, Mars. And then they'll do the same thing. Maybe with instruments if we have time. It kind of just depends. I think we did once and we didn't the other time. And then after that, I have them make up their own pattern. So I have these little printouts. So I have these little printouts of all these little different cards. I have all the planets, so you can, you know, I have all the planets as well as things like asteroid, spaceship, astronaut, things like that. And the kids are just coming up with a pattern, and we're calling it the B section to our song. And so in theory, we're going to glue them down on there. So they'll, you know, arrange them, we'll glue them down, and then they can color them however they like. And I didn't even put rhythms on it. It's just like the simplest way to do composition. And then if we have time, then we'll sing through the song and then have a kid read theirs out loud. And if we don't have time, then we don't do that. And you know, that's where we are, because 35 minutes. That's where we are. Then on a Friday, we start by doing the say again. So we do it, and then I actually have them play it as a game. So I have them go in partners, they play against them and stand, you know, like a good ways away so they're not touching or anything. And then I sing the song Star Festival, and they have to go find a new partner. That has worked pretty well. Pretty simple. They love it. They get lots of different partners, so if they don't, you know, want to be with someone, it's not the end of the world. And then after that, bring them back down. We do our Star Festival one last time. Full disclosure, I wanted to do our full ORF arrangement, and I don't think it's gonna happen. It didn't happen last week. Just my class last week needed some different things, and then my class this week missed Monday because people were confused about the schedule, and so it's not gonna happen this week. So ideally I would love to do our ORF arrangement on Friday, but I think I'm gonna have to hold it until the next time they come. So we might do that like when they come next time, I think is my plan. But we go over Star Festival. We can go over their different B sections if we have some time. And so then it's game time, and we play a game for however many minutes they have, or however many minutes I choose to give them. Typically it's about 10 to 15 minutes. It's kind of what I shoot for at the end of the week. So that's where we are for 4th grade. 5th grade does a very similar set of activities. It's not quite the same. So Monday is exactly the same. On Tuesday, we do jump in, jump out, we do the rule review, and then we're doing the chant operator. So I got this from the game plan curriculum. I'm not sure if it's copyrighted, so I guess I'll do it and then I'll hope that it's not. And if it is, I apologize. I should look it up. I'll look it up. Anyway, it goes operator, operator, give me number 9. And if the line is busy, you can give me back my time. Super simple little chant. And so we say it, and then we play on our legs, and then I give them some instruments, and we try a couple of different ostinati, because that's kind of the first thing we're working on. Is just kind of like, can we play different things with our songs? And so we do a couple of different ostinati. So we've been doing ta, ti ti ta, ta, ti ti ta, and then the other one has been ta 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 while we do it, and those have worked really well. We usually use rhythm sticks on the first day because they're easy, and you know, you can get all those how we play instruments quickly and easily. Then on Wednesday, we're starting with the song One Bottle of Pop. I think I have a whole video about this, but it's basically, you take, I always say, take your hands, turn them inside, and it goes, 1 bottle of pop, 2 bottle of pop, 3 bottle of pop, 4 bottle of pop, 5 bottle of pop, 6 bottle of pop, 7 bottle of pop, pop. Don't throw your trash in my backyard, my backyard, my backyard. Don't throw your trash in my backyard's full. Fish and chips and vinegar, vinegar, vinegar. Fish and chips and vinegar, vinegar and pop. So really easy little warm up. And so I'll just sing it a couple times, have them do the actions with me, and then I'll have them added in. We'll go to verse 2 and then same thing. And you can do this as a round, which we will do next time, but not yet. So we get through that and then we do operator, what we did today, and we just kind of practice it a couple of different ways, and then we do some improvisation. So sometimes with instruments, sometimes just with our hands, we'll do just keep the beat or play an ostinati. So today we did ta ta. So operator, operator, give me number 9. And if the line is busy, you can give me back my time. And then they get to improvise for 8 beats. And so I just count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we go right back to the chant. And we do this back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. It's a really easy way to get kids improvising and trying different things. Because the first time they're kind of like, I don't know what to do. But by the 4th or 5th time, you know, they're like pretty down. If they're doing a really good job, then I'll even let some of them do a solo. And so when we get to the improvisation, I'll point at someone who has their hand up, because I'm not going to put them on the spot like that, and they'll do 8 beats of whatever they want by themselves, and then we go back and then we like switch it up so that different people get to try it out. It just kind of depends on the class and where they're at, and you know, all of that good stuff. And then I have them create a new verse to the chant. So this is something I have never done before, but it's worked out pretty well. So I have them get in groups. I give them large like pieces of chart paper, and they have to come up with a second section, and we talk about how it's like 4 lines and how many beats are in it, and so seeing if we can like match those things. And they like rock it, and it is so much fun. And so I've had 2 classes so far. Both of them have been like, this was so much fun, because when I do new things, I'll ask them like, can you just show me, yes I like this, no I didn't, or like it was okay. And both of them were like, so that was a really great time. They did a really good job with it, and I look forward to more group projects in the future. On Thursday, we're throwing it back with those stick figures, and then I'm adding in some Japanese music in the background. And then after that, we are miming through Say, Say, Say. We're going over Star Festival, trying out the different ostinati. And then if we have time, we're playing the game Extra Beat, Take a Seat, which is one of my favorites. This one is super simple. You just pick a rhythm. We always start with ta, ta, ta. And they play it a certain amount of time. So first we'll do it 3 times. So we go. And if they make an extra beat, then they take a seat, so they're out. I do it, sometimes we'll do it standing and they'll play on their legs. Sometimes we'll do it with rhythm sticks, and they put their sticks in the middle if they're out. Either way is fine. It just kind of depends on time and you know what we got going on. Again, a great one for if you have to go to their classroom suddenly. And so we go through that until they get to like usually 9, and then we'll do a new rhythm and keep going that way. So super fun, always a really good hit, and yeah, it's just a great time, great time. And then on Friday, we are also doing the Say, Say, Say game. We're doing the Star Festival with instruments if possible, and then it's game time and they choose a game. Now, I want to amend this because I just realized that I totally forgot something we're doing in both classes on Tuesday. On Tuesday, both ones are going through Jump In, Jump Out, and then they're going over their respective songs. This is what it is. They're going over their respective songs with the instruments. Then we're doing the song Big Fat Biscuit. This one is so much fun. It goes, big fat biscuit, choo-baloo, just from the oven, choo-baloo, jump over yonder, choo-baloo. And so what you do is you have the kids get into 3 different lines, and on each choo-baloo, one kid, whoever's in the front, does a long jump. And then when they stop, then you see who has jumped the furthest, and they get a point. So it's like, big fat biscuit, choo-baloo, just from the oven, choo-baloo, jump over yonder, choo-baloo. And they all like take one standing long jump, stay there. I tell them if they fall or they take an extra step, they're out. They have to be really, really careful. And then whoever's gone the furthest gets a point. This game has been the biggest hit. Like Say 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 and Chubaloo have been the biggest hits that I have tried this year. They are in love. It's been so much fun. They love them. It's a great time. And next time I plan to pull that one back out and add some more musical things, because right now I'm just singing it and we're just playing the game. But wanted to make sure I threw that in there because they have loved it. So I want to make sure you knew that that is absolutely amazing. All right, friends, thank you so much for watching. I would love to know what you're doing with your 4th and 5th graders on the first week of school. I will leave it down below whatever I said I would link. Hopefully I remember everything. And if I missed something, just let me know. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.